Hello, I am Shay Dominguez, and this is What in the Fuck Land, a show where we explore what in the fuck is going on in this country, the United States of America. Now, this is episode 1, to share with you who I am, why the fuck I'm here, and the absurdities that have been happening in America, and what I've had my eyes open to over the past year. Now, this is not a show of picking a side, although I have picked a side and I will share that with you. But this is more exploring and learning, and questioning, and starting to think for ourselves. Because when we realize we have been programmed to think a certain way, we have to start asking why. To whose benefit is it that we are acting like this? Because a lot of the times it's not to our benefit. But I don't want to get into too much. Let's get it.
What in the fuck land?
All right, welcome to What in the Fuck Land. We're gonna get right into it. Who the fuck am I? My name is Shay Dominguez. I'm a comedian. I'm from Southern Illinois. I was born in Virginia to 2 Marines. Parents divorced at a very young age. I could go through a lot of stuff. But I grew up with conservative parents. My mom, my stepfather, my dad, my stepmom, all conservative. My dad is Cuban, my mom is white. And with that, I grew up with conservative values: family, faith, friendship, fun, faith. Just go look at my mom's house and whatever signs she has up, that's the conservative values. And so that was me. Now, when I got older, eventually came out to my family, telling them I was gay.
I'm gay, 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 I'm gay. My name is Shay, and I'm gay.
That caused a little bit of friction. And around this time, I was graduating high school, going into college. So I was away from my family who didn't necessarily like that I was gay. So I went off to college. I became a liberal. 2008, I graduated high school. That was the first time I was able to vote. And you know who was president in 2008? Well, Barack Obama. He was the savior. He was cool. He was hip. He was black, half black. He could play basketball. He could do a little cool shaking of the hands. He was gonna save us. I thought my parents would most definitely vote for him, even though he was a Democrat. But no. Silly reasons, such as, you gonna elect somebody whose last name is Obama? I don't know if that was a real reason. I think they had better reasons. But I was like, okay, well, I guess we don't agree on these political ideologies anymore. And at that time, I had moved from St. Louis from college to Los Angeles, eventually to Atlanta. And so we really didn't talk about politics. I was just away from home for a long time and finding myself. I was getting around more diverse people, getting around more gay people. And so my ideology started to change. And then fast forward to 2015, 2016. Who came into the picture? Donald Trump. I mean, a celebrity billionaire guy. Come on, it's a joke. He's not gonna run. Come on, let's focus on real candidates. Then, well, he got pretty serious about running. He started putting money behind his campaign. And get this, his slogan, "Make America Great Again." What? I mean, like, make America great again, like a good economy, right? Freedom. Oh, no. MAGA stands for slavery. Yeah, he wants to bring slavery back. He hates black people, which if you look at his history with black people.
I'm a military veteran and a civil rights activist. And you know what else? I'm a Republican, and I support Donald Trump. If that sounds strange, you don't know your history.
There's footage of him with Oprah and them writing each other, or him going on The View.
Well, you know, Donald and I are like this. We're pals. I saw him at the Adele concert.
Are you being facetious? Or?
No,
okay,
serious.
okay.
Last week I saw him on the Adele. Donald couldn't be nicer to me. Oh, it's so nice to see you,
Even
Melania.
all the stuff that you guys have said about him on The View.
I haven't said anything that bad. The worst thing I ever said to him about him was that he's not the worst one.
Everybody loved him. Then he wanted to run for government.
I think that he is so vindictive that he will go after, however he has to, through the IRS maybe, or even, other sponsors to get us off the air maybe, or you.
Yeah. The government started hating Donald Trump. Why? Well, because he wasn't the government. And all of a sudden, Trump turned into a villain. Well, we have the new Hitler on our hands. And I just accepted it. I mean, when you're bombarded with media, of course, social media was just booming at this time. It's all you see. Donald Trump is a villain. Donald Trump is Hitler. Donald Trump is trying to take over the world. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but like for an advertisement to work, for me to say, I want a Pepsi, and just to go out and seek a Pepsi, you have to watch an advertisement at least 7 times before you actually think, I want a Pepsi. That's how our brain works. That's how our psyche works. It's not just like, oh, just say it however many times. Look, this is science. The media knows this science. Advertising knows this science. So you say something 7 times, you're like, I want a Pepsi. Well, that's the same when we're talking about politics. Well, Trump is against gay people. He's trying to take away gay rights. Well, Trump is against gay people. He's trying to take away gay rights. Yeah, but he didn't. Well, Trump is against gay people. Well, Trump is against gay people. He's going to take away gay rights. Trump is against gay people. He's going to take away gay rights. That's what it becomes. And then we become these megaphones for them. It's like, I'm just going to plant this seed in their head and you're going to say it. So anyway, Donald Trump was running as a Republican. Well, I'm going to vote for Biden, going to vote blue, just as I always have. And Trump is he's a sexist, he's racist, he's homophobic. And so I'm like, my mom, my parents are definitely not going to vote for Donald Trump. And I remember talking to my mom on the phone one day, sitting in my car in Los Angeles, crying because she was going to vote for Donald Trump. Well, Mom, Donald Trump is going to take all of my rights away as a gay person. He's not going to let us have kids. He's not going to let us get married, which at that time, none of that was on my mind. But the media was just feeding me. In that conversation, my mom and I decided to no longer talk about politics. I would try to talk about it with my dad, or he would bring it up. I went to visit him, and he had a Trump flag on. And every time we would talk, I would just get so visibly upset, crying, yelling. It's embarrassing. Like when you don't have control of your emotions, that's what that looks like. You don't have a balanced nervous system, that's what that looks like, which of course I'm scared. It's because we are being fed this fear-mongering. If you don't do this, this bad thing is going to happen. So we stopped talking about politics. And then 2020 came around, COVID happened. I was still liberal and wearing a mask, confining myself in my apartment, social distancing. I was doing all of the right things, right? All of the things that the government was telling us to do. And then I will never forget the day of my first stand-up comedy open mic. The day was January 6th.
Right after the Trump speech was finished, people started filing over here and started pressing against the Capitol.
Police started throwing flashbang grenades and spraying mace.
The media continued to portray it as this very dangerous thing.
Events in Washington have taken a violent and tumultuous turn in the past few hours, as thousands of supporters of President Trump stormed the US Capitol building, venting their anger at the victory of Joe Biden in the presidential election.
Of course, the Black Lives Matter riots had happened.
And it just collapsed. There you go. The building just collapsed in the midsection as well. And you hear even some cheers of people, again, who are watching in awe. But as we watch that, there are no National Guards members here. There is no form of first responders here on the ground in this part of Minneapolis. No police officers.
A lot of people got put in jail from January 6th insurrection, but for burning cities down and terrorizing police.
Over last night is the result of so much built-up anger and sadness. Anger and sadness that has been ingrained in our Black community, not just because of 5 minutes of horror, but 400 years. If you're feeling that sadness and that anger, it's not only understandable, it's right.
I never thought about January 6th any more than what the liberal media, mainstream media fed me, was that Donald Trump was trying to take over the Capitol, even though he says over and over that he called for people to peacefully protest.
Come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections, but whether or not they stand strong for our country.
Like, why would they want to take over the Capitol? Because of an unfair election? I mean, come on. Unfair election, come on. These Democrats, they're the good people, right? That's what we have come to think of them as this loving party. At that time, the liberals were, conservatives don't like you, come to us, we will like you, we will give the LGBT community rights. We hate war. The Liberal Party was about love. So moving on 4 years to 2024, where we're at right now. Donald Trump is running again. What is he trying to do? He's trying to take over the world again. Like, go be with your billions of dollars and leave us alone. Like, I'm gonna watch this debate, Donald Trump and Joe Biden. I'm just gonna see Donald Trump just make a fool of himself. And I watched it with a couple friends, and I was like, wait a second. Who the hell is Biden? Who the hell is this guy? He was like Barack 2.0 when they were together. Like, he was also he had the aviator sunglasses. He was getting it. And then this debate, he was a different guy. That was a turning point for me. The fact that the current office, the current administration, the Democratic Party had lied to us. Because can we sit here and agree on the fact that Joe Biden is not running the country? Can we agree on the fact that he is not mentally capable or physically capable to run the country? Can we agree on that? And we're okay with it. We're okay, oh, well, Joe Biden, I mean, come on, the president doesn't run the country. Anyway, it's a group of people who run. Like, we're giving them excuses for lying to us.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America.
This is a man who is sharp, who is on top of his game, who knows what's going on.
He's smart. He's on his game.
His mental acuity is great.
This is a very sharp president.
And the people that I've talked to say he's as sharp as a tack. He's fine.
They say he's sharp.
There's not a problem.
He was sharp. He was sharper than anyone I've spoken to.
The president is sharp and he is tireless.
He is sharp.
As sharp as ever.
And he's fine. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
His brain is good. He's still great.
He is sharp in meetings.
I believe the people who say that behind closed doors, Joe Biden remains sharp.
In meetings, Joe Biden is sharp.
He's sharp, he's fit.
There is nothing to these challenges, these suggestions that somehow he's not sharp. He's sharp as a tack.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Wait a second. This isn't the president we thought we had. We haven't seen him in a while. Oh, it's just one bad night? It's what they eventually said. Oh, it's Biden had one bad night. Don't worry about it. Oh, well, he eventually came out and said, I'm fine. I'm going to run for re-election, but, you know, if something comes up, if I get sick or something, then maybe I'll rethink that. Whoa, Trump got nearly assassinated? Whoa. Oh, wait, Biden has COVID? Oh, whoa. Biden dropped out. Whoa. And Kamala is now being endorsed by the Democratic Party and Biden. Wow. What?
I'm having a meltdown! I don't know which way is up! I'm on the verge of losing it, okay?
That sounds like an abusive relationship, actually. They feed us everything they want to feed us for their benefit. And then when they lie to us, we're like, no, there's no, that's not. What we saw with our own eyes, it wasn't true. That, people, is gaslighting 101. And so I saw that in the debate, and I had started changing my beliefs and going back to my values that I grew up with. I started talking to people who were outside of my echo chamber. I started following different kinds of medias on my social media. And it's wild, too, how much social media algorizes. I had Twitter before Elon bought it. And then Elon bought it, and I'm like, this is terrible. I'm deleting Twitter. At that time, I was following all liberal people. And then I downloaded it again like a couple months ago. And since then, I had followed a lot of conservative people on Instagram and on Threads. And then how my Twitter looked, how my Twitter feed looked, and how my Instagram feed looked was insane. And everybody knows it. That's why we need to look at both sides to see how crazy it is and then actually do our own research on Tim Walz's policies, Kamala Harris's policies, Donald Trump's policies, J.D. Vance's policies, and all of their history of what they've actually done. Because you just see these people spewing things out. And listen, I'm not a historian. I'm not a constitutional scholar. I'm a comedian, okay? Get that straight. So the 2024 debate was a huge turning point because I had always kind of questioned, maybe they aren't being honest with us. Maybe actually they have an agenda and it's not 2025. And so now I'm at this point where before I turned another cheek, I don't remember ever listening or watching a presidential debate. I don't know, maybe I did, just to see how cool Barack Obama was, but this was all new to me. I wanted to kind of ignore the political sphere, as many of us did, as many of my friends did. They're like, I don't really worry about that. I'll vote, do my civic duty. Sorry, civic duty is not just voting. It's not just your responsibility one time every 4 years. We've made that our responsibility instead of actually holding the government accountable for things they do the rest of the time. And so I turned another cheek, and I see a lot of other people doing that. People will protest and protest and protest to not have people killed overseas, which absolutely not. I do not want that either. But then they will ignore the homeless, the lower class. They will ignore the person next to them. Where are our values? We are so distracted with celebrities, with media. But now is the time to step up and to actually focus on what's important, which is keeping this country intact, keeping our freedoms intact, being locked up inside a house for 2 to 3 years, being required to wear a mask, being fired from jobs if you don't get the vaccine. That is not freedom. So we need to speak out. We need to speak up. We need to get outside of our echo chambers and listen, have conversations, have dialogue with people who we don't necessarily see eye to eye on. So as you can probably tell, I will be voting for Donald Trump. Never thought I'd be saying that.
Who even are you?
But here I am.
I know it's not ideal, but it's who I am.
Like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below. I want to know what you thought of the episode. Thank you for listening to What in the Fuckland.
What in the fuckland?
I mean, I question everything to where sometimes I go mad. Like, why are there 5 chicken nuggets in this 4-piece meal? What are they? What kind of psyop is this? They don't want you paying attention to what they're doing. They'll be like, no, go to work. No, look at what Taylor Swift did and Travis Kelce. Look at what they're doing. Oh, look at Brittany Mahomes. Look at this news story. They want you distracted. They want you to care about Riz and about Skibbity Bop Toilet Bitch. I can't. Our brains are literally rotting. It's time for a change, and I'm announcing my presidential candidacy. Not yet. Depends how well this goes, actually.